Hello everyone, I'm Alejandro Gerber Vicesi. I'm a Mexican film director. I'm here at the Dallas International Film Festival, and my film is a feature film called Bow in Spanish, and in English it's called Becloud.
Bienvenido a Dallas, Alejandro. ¿Cómo está?
Bien. Bueno.
And tell us, what is Becloud the story about?
Well, Becloud it's a feature film that involves different stories about teenagers in one region in Mexico City that's called Iztapalapa. It's a suburban area with some of the poorest people in Mexico City live there, and it's a region that also has a lot of troubles with water supply and all this chaos from the big cities that expels people to the outside. The story is about three teenagers that were best friends during the childhood, and when they were childs, they provoke unconsciously the death of one man. So this memory sticks with them in their present and somehow seals their destinies and unites them.
As you developed the idea, the concept for this film, what were some goals, personal goals that you had in mind, and what kind of messages were you intending to evoke?
I wanted to make a social portrait of this part of Mexico City, how we are, how we develop ourselves, how we relate to each other, what are our dreams and what are our failures. That's why the film has so many stories and so many characters, because it's like what I wanted to do is like a kind of a moral painting where you can see different kinds of characters and people, and you suddenly have like this powerful images that transport you to some place and that tell you what is life in that place like. Mm-hmm. Another goal of the film was to find new actors and new faces for Mexican cinema. So we made a long search of young actors, and we make a workshop, an actors workshop that took 2 months to have a nice new cast with the same level of acting and the same kind of energy in the scenes. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the of the highlights of the film, that it has a lot of new faces and a lot of really young good new actors.
And, that's interesting that you bring that up, because a lot of times when it comes to independent film production, many directors like to bring on brand name stars because it's instantly recognized. But in this case, you made a conscious decision to look for young actors. Why choose this route, and then what benefits did it reap for you as a result?
I wanted to do a commitment with reality in this film. So I wanted to look for real faces, and I wanted to look for people that were not recognizable as an actor of that movie or an actor of that play or from that TV show. So for me it was very important that they were part of the locations and that the scenes were like kind of organic with the faces of the actors. So I really wanted people to see the film and thought this is very real. This is exactly like things are in this place,
like it is in this region in Mexico City. And I'm always curious, because when you set out to make a project, obviously you have some things in mind that you wanted to turn out, but what were some things that caught you by surprise? What were some lessons in this social portrait that you didn't see beforehand?
Well, that's a very good question. There were a lot of things that happened during the pre-production. Mm-hmm. Like there's one scene in the film where when the three lead characters are childs, they are up in a hill and they roll down the hill, that was something that I did not invent it. I saw it when we were looking for the locations. Three little boys came to that hill and start playing, rolling down the hill, and then I said, well, this is great. So I run to my house and write a sequence about it and insert it in the script. So there were like many things like that when reality gave us the clue to new things to add it to the story and
yeah, let's keep it.
Yeah.
The free-spirited nature and how they improvised.
And well, we have a huge 7 minutes documentary sequence at the end of the film that is the portrait of a massive representation of the Passion of Christ that takes place in Iztapalapa once a year during the Holy Week. And we made it totally documentary, and we took our actors and inserted between the crowd, and with a lot of discretion with our camera, we shot them as part of this crowd attending to this representation. So there were a lot of things and a lot of people that were not think in advance that things were happening in front of us, and we were shooting and adding things to that sequence.
And why the documentary approach? Was that to just enhance the reality of it?
To enhance the reality, and because it is impossible for us to recreate a massive representation where almost 1 million people attend. So the only way to do it was to be discreet and have a really tiny camera unit. We were 3 people, and we communicate with the actors with signs and shouting to have them exactly where we wanted to be in the frame. So it was kind of that, like playing with reality to insert it in the fiction of the film.
What kind of advice would you have for other filmmakers that want to plant themselves in reality, either on the technological side, what kind of equipment to use, or what kind of communication system would you recommend?
What we do was to try to be very kind with the people that live there, trying to approach people not as an invader but as a visitor that wants to do something and to explain things right. And we get with that a lot of help from the neighbors in the place, and that made us possible to move quiet in the streets, to don't be we didn't want it to be like a huge crowd of people moving in the streets. We wanted to be like very discreet. And I think that's the key to get the reality out of the streets and into the screen.
I gotcha. And what excites you most about having Becloud Bajo's screen at Dallas International Film Festival?
I'm really excited to see that the film is finished. It was difficult to finish it and to find the funding to post-produce it. And now that it's going to very festivals, to a lot of festivals like Dallas, I'm really glad to see how it works with people, what the questions are of the audience, how people react with the film. It's a very satisfying feeling. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm honored to be at the Dallas Film Festival.
And Alejandro, where can people go online to find out more information about your film?
We have a website, a blog website that is called bao.wordpress.com. And bao, it's spelled UBAHO. And there you can find some pictures of the film, and a synopsis, and information about we are going to have a theatrical release in Mexico next June. So we are updating things there. We also are in Facebook, so there's a lot of information in the web for anyone who is interested.
Well, very good stuff. Alejandro, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.